This is Nick. You're listening to the DU Football Show, Drunkard United. Of course, up the Blades and fuck the Owls.
And fuck you too.
That was brilliant. I loved seeing your eyes roll there. So,
I like how he played it. We both looked at him.
Kaczynski, I read your manifesto today on Facebook. You going to be able to get through the show before you start mailing letters?
Maybe.
All right, well then, way to be up. Let's start the show. Hello and welcome to the Drunkard United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the emo, Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing today?
Just continue on with the intro, please.
This pleases me. Oh my God, does this please me? We're recording at Studio H, just outside our nation's capital, and you can check us out on just about any podcast platform. Please remember to rate, review, share, let your friends know you're listening to it, and subscribe most importantly. And should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. So, Sam, why don't you tell the good people how they can get in touch?
Yeah, just go ahead and DM us at DUfootballshow on all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or email in at DUfootballshow@gmail.com. And as of this moment, the only thing that will lift my spirits is if you give us money on Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow. Only $9 donations accepted at this point because I'm in such a shite mood. But we do have $2 and $5 levels available. They just won't do as much for me.
They won't fix your pain.
Not at the moment.
You're too much.
Hashtag Emery out.
We've already reached that level, huh?
Not already. It's been a long time coming.
Heard. So Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry. Some of us are peppier about it than others, but both of us also have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every show. We poured Sam a big old glass of this whiskey today.
Yeah.
What we drinking, Sam?
So the emotionally numbing nectar we have today is Benjamin Pritchard's Double Barrel Bourbon. Comes in at 90 proof and $84.99 to $99.99 on the shelf. They use white corn, which is interesting because yellow corn is typically the way to go for bourbon.
Absolutely.
But corn is corn, so it still counts as a bourbon. They also have rye and wheat on their mash bill, just adds a little bit of spiciness, a little body to it, kind of balancing out the whiskey. It's aged in new American oak for 7 to 9 years, and then it's rebarreled into new barrels again for 3 to 5 years. So it's got big caramel, which gives way to big vanilla. And the finish does last a little bit. Not a huge burn to it, which is excellent, but just a big caramel vanilla bomb, which is lovely.
Well, and you already got a nice burn today as it is already, so why do you need your whiskey to burn?
That's a dig.
Oh, yeah.
Should I just start on my closing now? Or
All righty, kids, let's have ourselves a hell of a show.
It's odd being the only person here that doesn't lose. Or that does lose, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Mel, do you got to do a shot of Malort?
Sammy, I don't.
I don't have to do a shot of Malort
one
either.
shot glass got put out today.
Yeah, and it's not going to a Houston. How about that?
No, I made sure to put it over on his spot, and
But-
I was called cold-blooded.
Yes, I saw that. That was beautiful, Chris. By the way to catch on to that and pile on top because that makes
Fucking
us all feel
Shaka
better.
Khan.
So believe it,
Shaka fucking Khan.
believe it or not, there were other games that went on, and there's other things that were more important than Sam's pro-Arsenal agenda.
Maybe 3 of them.
Points gap just got a little smaller, and now it feels like we finally got a season on our hands. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 1, Man City 2, Palace 0. Throw form out the window. If it's a big derby, it doesn't matter.
Partially. I also think that Mo Salah not being there obviously hurt them. Divock Origi can't stretch United the way Mo Salah can. It obviously didn't give them as much to think about.
Oh, absolutely.
However, Liverpool looked lethargic.
Liverpool's looked like shit for 3 games in a row.
They didn't look like they were really going after it at all, to be fair. I do want to say about the Marcus Rashford goal, because we spoke about this off air.
Uh-huh.
I counted. It was 12 seconds and 6 touches. And you tried to say in your little rant, you can't count fouls that happened so long ago. It was 6 touches.
And it was in the defensive half of the field, and it was
by 5 yards.
And it was arguably a foul.
By 5 yards.
Arguably a foul.
Yeah, it was
even
arguably a foul, which is why the goal shouldn't have stood.
No, it wasn't a foul. And
was
you're
a foul.
that's just you. You just want to try to get a goat out of me because
But it
you're
was a foul.
No, it fucking wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
If your team had done that to them, you'd be screaming at the fucking stars that was not a foul.
It was definitely a foul.
No, it wasn't.
Well, in ours today, Socrates' shirt got pulled, and then he got shoulder bars in the back. That wasn't a foul.
Okay.
VAR said it wasn't a foul either.
All right. Hey, we're not talking about
Hey,
that.
listen.
Those 3 letters don't exist.
This was a foul.
Okay.
Shouldn't
okay.
have happened.
Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck off.
Listen,
you know what?
Not
Hey,
my
Sam,
result.
Hey, Sam, you
Not
know
my
what?
result.
You know what it wasn't? It wasn't clear and obvious. So there we go. Goal stands. More important to talk about that goal was the young lad, James. He was a factor that
Great cross.
entire match.
Great cross. And Marcus Rashford, textbook forward play, right? Make a little run to the front post, jab step back to the far post, and slide in between the 2 center backs, which is exactly what he did.
Split like the sea.
Yep. And he waltzed right in, and it was a great cross by James to elude everybody, or evade everybody. Evade everybody, and then Rashford there to finish.
Now,
it was well done. It was a good counterattack. It just should have been called a foul.
So, like I was saying, James was a complete factor for Manchester United until Liverpool actually did a little something out of the old Sam Graham book. They started doing the man or the ball, not both.
Yep.
And Van Dijk laid him out one time in the second half. Fabinho knocked him down one time, and then Fabinho got him the second time and got the card. But by then, damage done. James was getting runs down the sideline, but he wasn't marauding the middle of the field anymore like he was doing earlier.
And once they took Daniel James out of it, they Liverpool, that is, started to turn the screw a bit. I mean, it still wasn't great from them, but they did hold more possession. They did start creating chances on a more regular basis. Now, De Gea honestly didn't have a lot to do. Mane obviously had the goal chalked off for a handball.
Right.
Agreed. He gained an advantage from that. Not a problem there. And then Lallana equalized from an Andy Robertson cross, very similar to what happened in the first goal for Manchester United.
Found himself into open space by shuffling around a little.
Right. I do want to say also Jurgen Klopp, 2 out of the 3 substitutions he made were involved in that goal. Naby Keita won the ball back and passed it out to Andy Robertson, and Robertson crossed to Lallana, who was the other substitute, and put the ball in the back of the net. Oxlade-Chamberlain also gave United a lot to think about with some long-range efforts. Only 2 of them on target, one of them kind of tame, but everybody knows he can strike them, and he definitely drew them out a little bit to challenge him from distance.
Well, and not that I want to give much credit because, let's face it, the bar is set very low, but like people like Fred put in a shift. They
did.
Was it world beater? No, but they put in a shift. So what does this ultimately say then for United? Do we feel that this should project them? This should start to elevate their gameplay, or are they just going to go and lose to Norwich next week because they put all their effort into this?
Well, there's the thing, and another show we listened to made that point, is this isn't the game that's going to define their season. The game that's going to define their season are the next 2. I think it's Norwich away and then Palace at home or something like that.
Yeah, no, not Palace because they just played Palace, but I know what you're saying.
It's somebody along those lines. I'm not sure who it is, but it's somebody along those lines that see Manchester United still as a scalp, and they're for the taking.
They get bored. They go
Maybe
to
that's who it is.
They go to Bournemouth, I think.
So it's 2 away games.
Yeah.
So can they lift themselves for it? Right. We saw it once already against Chelsea. That 4-0 first game of the season.
Yep.
And then this one. Those are the only, and then us 1-1.
Right.
Wasn't a great game, but you could say that they are lifting themselves to play against the bigger teams. It's the smaller team, Southampton 1-1, that they can't get themselves up for. That even with the non-quality Manchester United players they have, should still be beating those teams, and they're not.
Well, it's the difference of how you become a top 6 team then.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Now, conversely, for Liverpool, like I just said as we started this one here, we started talking about this game in particular. This is 3 shit performances in a row from them. let's face it, their performance against Sheffield was not good. It took the goalkeeper making a gaffe for them to win. 2 weeks prior with Leicester really took it to them in their building.
Yep.
In their building, right? No, it was at Anfield, wasn't it? I think no. Yeah,
I
it was
think
at
it was.
Anfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took it to them in their building, and it took a little luck and a little help at the end with that late penalty call. Then you go to United, and if it isn't for that one little stroke of genius that gets them that goal, they were going to lose that game.
Yeah.
They were going to lose it. It really, you're watching that game, you're going, yeah, Liverpool's about to see their first loss of the season.
Yep. Absolutely. Completely agree.
So what do you think this does for them? I mean, now, fortunately,
They still got a point.
I mean, yeah. Now, and before that, they got 6 points. They got wins in both of those shitty performances. But next game is against Spurs, which we can safely say the wheels have completely fallen off. But
Yeah.
but this
Yes.
could also be exactly the kind of game that Spurs get up for. Then I think after that it's Villa, and then it's City coming to Anfield. So
I mean,
they
like
got to kind of get it together in a hurry.
Well, like I said, I think the major miss today, Saturday, was Sunday. Was Sunday.
Yes,
The major
Sunday.
miss Sunday. Sorry, spazzed out there for a second. Was Mo Salah. I think you have those two players up top in Firmino and Sadio Mane, and you play that three center backs at the back. You kind of nullify them, and Divock Origi is not going to stretch anybody.
No.
I
He's a point man. He's not
as
a
we
side
saw
man.
right as we saw with but at that point you have 2 point men on in Firmino and him, right?
Right.
So my thing is probably should have started either Shaqiri, who wasn't even on the bench, I don't think,
Right.
or Oxlade-Chamberlain in place of Origi to give that pace and to stretch that defense a bit and to give those wingbacks something to think about.
And then when you
The
needed
wingbacks,
the big
yeah.
man, put the big man in. later.
Exactly. The wingmans never had the wingbacks. I'm sorry, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Ashley Young never had to stay back or worry because the three center backs were occupying the two forwards, and Origi isn't mobile enough to stretch them at
Yeah.
all.
Very true.
So they didn't. They didn't need any cover. So I think that's your biggest miss, and I think that maybe changes the game and was a bit of an error on Klopp's part because you saw when Oxlade-Chamberlain came on and started using that pace and started whipping in crosses and taking shots and just being more dynamic than Divock Origi was. United was kind of at 6s and 7s for a bit.
Right.
I mean, now the quality of Liverpool's chances didn't meet the actual execution of those chances, but the chances were there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think if Mo Salah was in, it probably could have been a different story.
Right.
But it is what it is. You know, I mean, you got to take these as they come.
I would dare say City was more clinical against Palace than City was clinical against Watford. If it wasn't for the fact that Wayne Hennessy flat out stopped 6 point blank, definitely going in the back of the net goals, this would have been 8-0 too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lovely little ball from Raheem Sterling.
Yo.
The invention, the creativity is everything that my fucking assholes lack right now. It was phenomenal.
And then
that goal.
the quick turnaround with another quick goal from Silva, which was just a
Well, that
lovely,
was Silva's
that
goal.
little touch. Yeah.
The header from Jesus.
Jesus was before that.
Was
Sorry,
before that.
I
yeah.
mixed them up. My apologies.
That was fairly routine, to be fair.
Hey, you know what it was? It's a normal Manchester City goal.
Yeah,
You know?
right. It's routine, but that's the Sterling little flick over the top, just a little delay
That he just
kind of frees the
slid
defense.
right between Hennessy's legs.
Yeah, well, popped it over, and then David Silva on the volley as it's coming over his shoulder, and picked out the nutmeg on the goalkeeper was brilliant.
So not to be outdone, Mr. Ederson on the other end for City only had to make 2 saves, but fuck if they
Which-
weren't big.
To be honest, I was surprised at. I thought Palace looked dangerous on the counterattack, but they never really threatened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, other
And
than that
I think
Benteke
they
header,
I think
the-
they should have been more direct as Rodri and Fernandinho. They didn't have a recognized center back on the field
Right, and
It
they
was-
didn't take advantage of that.
at all. It
Yeah.
was Rodri and Fernandinho, and they were still trying to play things down the wing to Zaha. Why not run Zaha through the middle and let him and just hoist it up and let him run rampant against the two of them.
Yeah. Although I would say, in defense of Fernandinho, when you have Laporte and Stones both healthy again, and Otamendi, my third choice would be Fernandinho.
I think Fernandinho is probably my starter over Otamendi, and then you add in Laporte.
Yeah,
To be fair,
he's putting in a shift.
Yeah.
No, he's a crafty old veteran. He knows what the fuck he's doing on the pitch.
the one really dangerous Palace counterattack was Zaha running down the right hand side, and I've never seen Fernandinho run so fast.
Yep.
But he trucked it from the center line all the way over, and he was in the center circle, and trucked it all the way to the right side of the pitch where Zaha was running down, and got the slide in brilliantly. Let his team recover, reorganize, and then City cleared their lines without a problem.
What it is that I think helps Fernandinho in this situation? He's too much of a central midfielder, so he's too dumb to realize maybe I shouldn't be making this tackle. I'm the last guy.
Yeah.
But because he goes for it and he makes the tackle every time.
He got it right.
most
absolutely.
defenders think about those for a second
Oh, yeah.
when they make those last ditches, because that last
Absolutely.
ditch, that could be a red.
Those hesitations also get you reds.
Precisely.
That's the other thing, is you hesitate that split second. That's that half step that you catch his ankle instead of the ball. Fernandinho played really well. There was a time when they both kind of got sucked up, forgetting that they were playing the position they were playing.
Oh, yeah.
And we're a good 15 yards inside the Crystal Palace half.
Like,
and if anybody just stood on the center line
and just long balled it,
and you'd have been fucked. But
especially with the speed of Zaha or
exactly.
Jordan Ayew.
That's why I'm surprised they didn't
races.
just park themselves right there.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know what? Clean sheet, did their job. Ederson only had to bail him out a couple of times.
That was their best defensive performance of the season, which shows you how shit Otamendi is.
Yeah. Very true on that one. So, real quick on Palace, and then I want to take a look at the bigger picture. It's about to get real tough for Palace real quick. Well, I mean, they have you next week, so that shouldn't be hard. But the next four aren't easy for them.
No, they're not.
Do we think we start to finally see Palace slide back to the pack a little bit?
Absolutely, yes.
I
think so. Who knows? Next week they can pick up another 3 points, and I'll come in here really depressed again.
Oh,
Who knows?
Hey, maybe, I just went on a 4-week run of having to do Malort shots. Maybe it's your turn now to do a 4-week run.
Nah, I'd rather not do that.
All right, so bigger picture. We're getting ready for the in 3 weeks, it'll be the big one. It'll be City traveling to Anfield to face Liverpool. City has Villa this week, which, sorry, Mel, they're going to wipe the floor with Villa. And
is that home or away?
I believe it's at Villa.
I don't know. Jack Grealish playing good.
Yeah, but
that's the stuff dreams are made of, man.
But to quote the West Ham boys,
I'm optimistic always.
All right, to quote the West Ham boys, City loves to beat the shit out of people in the middle of the field. I have a feeling that'll be a very long day for Jack Grealish.
Oh, he's going to spend a lot of that field on his ass.
A lot of that field.
A lot of that game or field?
We were letting her go. See, you sometimes
Why'd you have to call me out for that?
Well, because
he is a dick.
Listen, because much like when West Ham lost 5-0 to City at the beginning of the season, when you're down as a wounded dog, you fight back a little bit to make yourself feel good.
So, like I said, City has Villa.
Fuck
then
you, Chris.
Villa has. I'm sorry. City has Villa, then Southampton, and then
that's a walk in a fucking park, isn't it?
And Liverpool has
Spurs,
and then Villa. So,
yeah,
it really comes down to
I'm not drinking Malort this week, so that's all I have to say.
Do the Spurs have any fight? Is what it really comes down to.
Absolutely not.
But God forbid, Liverpool drops a point.
Well, it could be just like their capitulation from January 1st when they played City last season and had a 10-point lead, and then fucked it with the last game at your place, the last time they dropped points.
Yep.
And City overtook them for the final time, and then they both won out the rest of the season.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, we could be in the midst of that capitulation again.
It could happen right now.
100%.
Which actually might be good for them, because then December rolls around and maybe they pick it up.
Yeah, it could be.
Instead of having to hang on for the entire season.
Yeah, and then you also have Laporte and Stones who are still hurt and are going to be hurt for a bit.
Stones just got in. He got in the Palace match, but like right at the end.
I turned it off.
Yeah.
2-0. That was it.
All right, let's go ahead and chat about our team, Sammy. Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 0, Everton 2, West Ham 0. So, I'm just going to read exactly what I wrote for notes because I had already written the notes before the outcome had happened. Graham to laugh, cry, rant, make excuses. Let's see what happens. Sam, the floor is yours.
So I actually wrote like a match report for this. It was dreadful. It was absolutely dreadful.
And thus concludes our talking about Arsenal.
There was a lack of creativity and invention. This whatever combo of man marking and zonal bullshit doesn't work, obviously, because Musette stood by himself on Bird Leno for a full 25 seconds and no one said a fucking word to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, he's the one that put in the goal.
Musette's the one that ran Pickford off the ball on the corner that we conceded when we lost to him 2-0.
Yeah. First start for them, for him. Good on him, full debut, takes a scalp. But we didn't deserve it. Pepe should have done better. Socrates should have had a penalty, which I think we can all agree on. His shirt was a good 2 feet off of his body. And then right as the ball comes in, he lets go and shoulder barges him in the back. I think that's a definite pen. Doesn't get called. VAR fucks off and is watching porn instead of the game. The Saka yellow card should have just been a no call. There was contact made. I don't think it was a dive, but I don't think it's enough for a penalty. No, there was contact made. His plant foot couldn't have made it back down. Not a chance. But I don't think the ball was too far away. I don't think it was a foul either.
All righty.
So it just should have been a no call. So that's it for my match report because I'm tired and my head hurts.
Okay,
so
I'm going to tell us how you really feel?
Yeah, I'm going to just read what I wrote on the Facebook page. If you guys follow the Facebook page, is I cannot believe what I watched. These moments of brilliance are fewer and farther between. We were abject at best. The team selection isn't right. The tactics are obvious shit. We're slow, predictable, and we're indifferent to that. You can't wait until injury time to show any sort of desire. Why wasn't Torreira brought on? Why did we wait for Ceballos at halftime? Fortnite's down, so where's Ozil? I bet you he's beta testing the new one. Why the fuck is Xhaka on the field, let alone our fucking captain? Why does Guendouzi seem to be the only cocksucker that cares? Pepe missed a sitter. He needs to be dropped for a couple of games and let his head settle. The pressure is mounting and the papers won't stop the criticism. At this point, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Unai Emery are the same manager, living on the false promise of an unbeaten run that papered over the cracks of teams that simply aren't fucking good enough. Tactics that aren't good enough, and desire that is non-existent. We are the fucking Arsenal, and we will get through this, but god damn it if this isn't shameful. Good night, guys.
He finished strong, and we couldn't take him off his focus.
Yep. But we won. Yeah. So
you know what happens when you come out with a clear plan and a style, and an energy,
5 changes. We weren't just putting up crosses.
Tom fucking Davies.
We played fucking direct. Yes, Tom fucking Davies.
Gomes coming back in.
The two of them bossed the midfield
completely. Energy, verve, enthusiasm, the whole nine. Somebody needed to be set on their ass. They fucking did it.
Yeah, and then what did that dude that got sat on his ass
galvanize the rest of the fucking team?
Well, no, the guy who was sitting on his ass gets subbed in, goes on, pissed off, scores a fucking goal. Like, hey, it's amazing. If somebody's not doing well, put them on the fucking bench, change things up, shuffle things around. I think we may have seen the end of Coleman's run. I think
Sibade played well.
We played really well and really offered a lot in the attack. I think this may be a Digne/Baines kind of situation.
Yeah.
Where you just
And
go.
Seamus Coleman's 30 now, 31, something like that.
30.
Yeah. I mean, he's reaching the end of his career. Not yet, really should be, but he's starting to slow down a bit.
And it won't be to fault of his own. It's just guy came out.
Siboney played well. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Well, I completely agree with that. And then you bring him on to close a game out. You get that hard-nosed Irishman in there to shore shit up at the 85th minute, and you give him a few runs out for next season or two.
Oh, so my wife's playing back the video right now.
I was editing it.
Can you mute your fucking phone
That's fair.
and hit the mute button?
There were a few dangerous moments for Everton, but really, Harry Mina and Michael Keane repelled pretty much everything, and Jordan Pickford made a couple of saves when he was called upon. So there was a couple of worries, but really, y'all dealt with them fantastically. And for the most part, you were in charge the entire game. Should have been 6-0, to be honest.
Yeah, there was definitely opportunities.
Alex Iwobi.
Yeah, should have put that away.
Yeah,
Walcott off the post for Charleston off the post.
What a hit.
Yuri Mina getting his jersey grabbed, put his hand on a guy, ran clean by him, and had the ball in the back of the net, and the ref called a foul.
It wasn't a foul.
It wasn't a foul. It was a goal.
No.
But if I could,
definite foul.
Yeah, I know
Definite
now
foul.
it's a definite foul.
Definite foul.
So don't project your bitterness on the rest of
Hey,
this.
look, Socrates
There's nothing.
shot at a pen.
You know what? White Claw Summer 2019. Nothing but positive vibes in here, baby. That's what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, well, Malort, October 21st, 2019. Okay?
Heard.
Depression and sadness.
So if I put on the West Ham cap real quick, one was due to injury, but a head scratcher. You have
Yarmolenko.
Yarmolenko is
Yeah.
on fire, and you don't start him. Now, the logic is that for international duty, he plays every minute. I think it's either
he's Ukrainian.
Yeah,
So he's also one of the furthest away.
Yeah.
In general, from
He plays every minute of every match. He's one of their best players. It's just he's going to get used. But also, he ate Everton for lunch at Goodison last year.
Yep.
So why
Why wouldn't you start him?
I mean, he dominated.
And really, West Ham created their best chances of the match once he came on.
Right.
And like I said, you all dealt with it fine. I mean, I never really worried for you. There was a few moments I was like, oh, shit, here it comes.
The corner kick. The
not
corner,
a problem.
The corner kick that was clearly a foul on Sidibe because he got kicked in the leg, but they called the corner kick instead. I was sitting there going, oh, fuck, here comes the goal, here comes the goal. And then it was like, holy shit, Pickford, get the rave on you, motherfucker. Way to make the save.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I'm not these team selections this weekend were kind of odd, to be honest.
Here's a little, for West Ham, like I said, wanting to look at West Ham specifically, here's the little thing that I think truly hurt West Ham. No Aaron Cresswell. He was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Cresswell normally plays that outside.
Yep.
Right behind Yarmolenko.
Yep.
So you've basically taken one whole half of the field
and fucked it off.
Gone to backup. So Fornells is an excellent player and he's a good sub, but Fornells likes to play more centrally, and then you're just kind of left. Okay, well we can go down one flank. We can go down the flank with Anderson, and that's about it.
Well, at that point, you become predictable.
And the minute everything started coming through the middle for Davies and Gomez, who are both not really defensive midfielders, they're more attacking midfielders, or in the case of Gomez, more a box-to-box guy. Like, you don't have a legit defensive midfielder out there, and they couldn't boss the midfield from us. I think Cresswell not having Cresswell made a bigger impact on them, especially because of not starting Yarmolenko. I think you really affected that side of the field. Now, that being said, West Ham needed to come out and actually play the fucking game, and they didn't. They
I would also argue that Tom Davies is whatever the fuck you want him to be, because he cares about the shirt so much. Much like we talk about James Milner at Liverpool.
Kids played right back for us before.
Yeah, exactly. For lack of a better comparison.
Right.
James Milner played left back most of last season or season before that or whatever.
James Milner will play fucking goalie if you need him to.
Yeah, if you have to. Exactly. 100%. So I think it's more of the energy and the enthusiasm and the give all for the shirt that Davies and Gomes brought.
Yeah.
That made it so easy for you, to be honest. I mean, what was it last year that you all bossed us off the park? Because Gomes, and Idrissa Gueye.
Yeah, bossed you.
Just bossed us because you guys wanted it more. You simply wanted it more. And we can do all the tactics we want. We can talk about all the shit, all the formations, all the players, how much they cost, what they did in their previous histories. If you know sports in general, if you want it more than somebody else,
you're going to win.
You're going to fucking get it.
Yeah,
and you all simply wanted it more than they did. And it didn't matter that the formation wasn't quite right. It didn't matter that you didn't have an out-and-out defensive midfielder. It mattered that you fucking wanted it more.
True.
And they were a half step to a full step behind you all over the park.
Yeah.
End of story.
Now, I will say, just to finish up the segment here, for Everton, that's a big win, and that's nice. So now, of the teams, quote-unquote, around you, right, which would be Leicester, yourself, West Ham, and Wolves, you're 2-0. Problem is next week, if you don't go to Brighton and win, it fucking means nothing.
And your away form's been shite recently.
Like, if there's anything this team, hell, it's been close to a year since we've gotten a win. We've gotten a few draws, and a draw is not going to do. We need to go to Brighton, and we need to beat them at the MX. Period. End of discussion. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Spurs 1, Watford 1, Leicester 2, Burnley 1, Wolves 1, Southampton 1, Bournemouth 0, Norwich 0, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 0, and Mel's Aston Villa 2, Brighton 1. Spurs literally escaped with a point, flat out.
100%.
Just escaped.
100%. They really got lucky from Kiko Fermenia's 5-minute horror show. The defender that came on.
Oh, absolutely.
Got in Ben Foster's way when he was coming out to claim a seemingly innocuous ball. Much like the first goal, Dele Alli gambled. However, he handled it. VAR, for some reason, didn't see it. And then actually a decent finish, but it shouldn't have stood. Decore's goal was brilliant. Spurs played a game of you got it, no, you got it, no, you got it, no, you got it. And Decore ran right between everybody and finished smartly beyond Gazzaniga, who is also going to be in net until the new year. Hugo Lloris is out until the new year.
Wow, that's not good.
Dislocated elbow, and he's fucked. So I don't know what he's going to be doing, but again, VAR missed what we both thought was a handball.
Okay, well,
saying that it would have came off Dele Alli's shoulder.
So here's the thing.
If I was a Spuds fan, I'd worry, man.
Okay, so here's the thing I want to kind of touch base on real quickly. And it's not a VAR discussion. This is the discussion of the new letter of the law to what is a handball in a goal-scoring situation. And this directly affected the Manchester City-Tottenham match when Laporte, while getting fouled, getting knocked over, the ball hit the back of his arm as he was falling away. And it's considered, even though it's unintentional, right? They say if it is intentional or
goal.
Unintentional, if it hits the hand
of the attacking player,
or a attacking player that helps in the goal. If it assists in the goal or is direct result of the goal does not stand. The ball hit Dele Alli on his bicep.
Yep.
The rule states, fuck whatever VAR has to say about it. No clear or obvious means nothing. The fucking rule.
It's supposed to be black or white.
It hit his arm. It does not matter. That is not a goal.
Well,
and that's not even to mention the whole Delafeu bullshit because he got fouled. So
right.
Watford
should have won that game.
And here's the thing: Watford doesn't win that game. Those 3 fucking points can be the difference between them staying up and going down. I mean, that's deplorable.
It's a shame.
Bad reffing.
It's
that's
a shame this weekend
reffing.
Happened the week after our VAR.
Oh,
show.
we would have had tons of material, but still, it just. Again, that's not even the point. That's just bad fucking refereeing.
Absolutely.
Horrific.
And I don't know if you heard it, our other show that we listen to frequently. Did you listen today?
Yes, I did.
And they brought up the same fucking thing that we said last week. Why aren't the referees going over to make the fucking decisions at the goddamn television screen on the side of the fucking field?
Shout out to Lindsay this week, too.
Clearly, they're listening to your show.
Yeah.
They must be.
Lindsay-
I'd like them to share it on the social medias.
Lindsay
That'd
put
be
up
nice.
Lindsay put up a great meme of now available 20 brand new VAR panels at stadiums, never been used.
Yeah.
First offer,
Yeah.
come get them. It was brilliant.
Absolutely. It's like, what the fuck? Why the referee no longer has decisions, no longer has authority over the game because somebody else is making his fucking decisions for him.
So real
there
quick,
was at least 3 off the top of my head that he would have looked at and either called penalties or overturned decisions. And he didn't. He listened to the fucking referee in the room, and it's bullshit.
yeah, it
It's
was wrong.
costing teams points. At the end of the day, could cost them millions and millions of fucking pounds.
Oh, we're not bitching about VAR. We're bitching about the letter of the law that they didn't follow. So,
But VAR didn't follow it. That's what it's there for.
breaking news when it feels like breaking. Just got a text from Nick. Do you need me to take a piss out of Arsenal on the podcast for Monday? Wait, what a win. Tell Sam my commiserations.
Do you want me to call Nick?
No.
So there you have it. There you have
I
it.
can't go to a Sheffield Wednesday match now, though.
I have.
When we go in the spring, we're definitely going to see the Wednesday.
Hey, Graham. I have 2 words for you.
What?
Doublades.
Oh, y'all can fuck off.
All right, so leading on to Leicester Burnley. You know what? That ended up being one hell of a fucking match.
Yeah, and you know why?
In our preview show that we did for Patreon, I told you, I was like, I bet you this one's going to be a good one, and damn did it deliver.
Yeah. This weekend was the last home game for Leicester before the anniversary
Absolutely.
of the helicopter crash that killed Vichai Srinadabaprava, along with 2 staff members.
Nailed it.
Kavaporn Punpare and
Not so much.
Nusara Suknama.
Okay, you did really well.
Also,
on the first
British
one.
pilot Eric Swafer and his Polish girlfriend and co-pilot Isabella Rosa Leszewicz. Really touching scenes.
You have a
before the
problem
game.
with the skis and
I can't
itches.
do the
You are
Eastern
really
European
bad
stuff.
with the Eastern
Yeah,
European.
no, the Eastern European stuff sucks. Really touching scenes. Very well done moment of silence, by the way, which is a bit of DU Football Show trope from last season,
Yeah.
where a lot of people suck
off
at
to ya.
moments of silence, but they did really well with this one.
Yeah, because in Baltimore they like to yell "Go O's" or "Hey Horn" or something ridiculous.
Yeah, in the middle of it. But anyway, a towering Chris Wood header put Burnley in front, but it didn't take the wind out of Leicester. Because of the day, they stayed behind their team. They stayed loud. They stayed excited. It took a while, but Jamie Vardy equalized on the stroke of halftime. Barnes' cross was fucking brilliant.
So now here's a question for you. So great job off of Jamie, FM Vardy. The man just scores goals at will, and he's in his 30s now, and he
he's
just
a
keeps
machine.
scoring.
He's a machine.
Now the end of the game wasn't without controversy as well, as Wood scores a goal. A little bit of a grab. Not so sure it was a foul.
No, it was what they called him on was the clipping of the ankle of Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
And Evans's leg wraps around and his foot hit his own calf and he fell. Intentional or not, in the middle of the park, that gets called.
True.
So, at the end of the day, yes, it is a foul. Would he have gotten to the ball? Who knows? The point is the opportunity of him getting to the ball got taken away from him.
Fair enough.
That, for me, is not a problem. This one is the most clear-cut out of everything that happened this weekend
Right.
as it pertains to VAR. So this one I actually don't have a fucking problem with. And well done, lads. You fucking got one right.
Yeah. So, but again, Leicester finding ways to win, even if it's ugly, and frankly, against a team
But
like
they're
Burnley,
used to
you
it.
knew what the game was going to be like. You
Yeah.
knew exactly what to expect.
Absolutely. And Leicester's used to winning ugly.
So, let's move on to Wolves and Southampton. So,
Do we have to?
yeah, real quickly, we're going to be a broken record here, but it's the same thing as before. This is one of those games you just conquered the world by beating City, but you know what? You're playing Europe, you're playing, your domestic tournaments, and you look right past this fucking game.
Yep.
You look right the fuck past it.
Absolutely.
And what ends up happening, you
Well-
can't look past any team in this league, because if you do, they will catch you.
To be fair, Wolves did put 3 goals in the back of the net. And I don't want to keep harping on it, but I said last week the stat was 6 decisions had been overturned and 227 reviewed incidents by VAR. This weekend they reviewed 227 fucking incidents and didn't overturn fucking shit. So I'm not sure where the evening out comes. I'm not sure where at the end of the season this will all be right stuff. But one of the 2 Raul Jimenez goals should have stood, in my opinion.
Okay.
One of the 2 of them should have stood. Other than that, the game was boring as fuck.
So, Bournemouth and Norwich participated in a football match in the English Premier League this weekend, Sam.
Sam, these are the boring games.
Mm-hmm.
And scene.
Nailed it. Alrighty, so that's all we've said about that. Chelsea, winners of 5 straight now in all competitions. They're
Clean sheet
starting
this one, too.
to get their legs under them, you know. Wasn't the prettiest of games. Credit to them.
Newcastle didn't even register a shot on target.
You know, credit to them for figuring out a way to get the win, because Newcastle can ugly you to death at times, and you can find yourself getting into one of those just kind of shit matches.
0-0 or 1-1.
And then
just
at the end you
snag
go,
a point. Yep.
how the fuck did we drop 2 points at home to these guys? So,
yeah.
so for them, that's good. Now, you know, I forget who they have next week, but we'll talk about it in the preview show anyways. But you
pay money and you can hear that.
Yeah, very true. And
Patreon.com // DUfootballshow. Yep.
And one of the more exciting games of the weekend was Brighton and Villa.
What?
Oh, wait. We have to mention, because he's American, DeAndre Yedlin on Tammy Abraham's second cut chance.
Please.
Pulisic, being unselfish, kind of slid a ball in as he was drawing Dubravka out. Tammy Abraham thought he had an open net. DeAndre Yedlin busted a fucking gut from the other side of the penalty box to get across, slide in, and turn Tammy's Abraham shot over the crossbar. Nobody in that stadium, including the announcers and us watching on TV, saw DeAndre Yedlin doing it. But on the replay, fucking brilliant. And nice to see him, you know, giving a shit.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it. Just because he's American, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, because that was fantastic.
Fair enough. So on to Villa Brighton. That was a heck of a little match there, wasn't it?
Great game.
It was a
awesome.
fun one to watch, wasn't
It was
it?
a good one to watch. Absolutely. Aaron Moy being a silly boy.
Yeah. It's, you know what?
Silly boy.
For a central midfielder, could be an attacking midfielder, it could be a defending midfielder. The minute they get the stupid yellow card, you can almost guarantee the second yellow is coming in the next 10 minutes. Like, if I was
Which is exactly what fucking happened.
I would hate to see what the.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to see what the numbers are, but just instinctually, if I was a coach on the sidelines and I saw my guy get like the tell the ref to fuck off yellow card, I'd consider subbing him right then and there, because I figure the next tackle he does is going to be too hard because he's going to be pissed off, and it's going to be enough for the second yellow, and he's gone. But hey, by the way, thanks. We don't have to worry about you next week now. You're a tough little fucker in the midfield, and now you've just made it that much easier for us with your central midfield. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
100%. Brighton took the lead after 20 minutes through a Webster header, which I think was more of a pullback.
Yeah, that had some controversy before, didn't it?
I think they were checking an offside.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. It was
Yeah.
rightly.
Yeah, the
but I don't
commentators
think
were
he,
like, that wasn't a foul, and then they get the goal off of it, and
I don't think he meant to do it, though, is my point. I think he was putting it back across the face of goal, and it just happened to hit in an area where,
right.
you know, we talk about
Yeah.
people taking cross shots, right? Just firing it hard on target towards the middle.
Precisely.
Maybe it gets a deflection. Maybe it finds its way through. I think that's what this header was.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Jack fucking Grealish.
Oh my God!
Step up and be counted, son.
Injury
Boy
time.
had himself a game.
Yeah, he did. Got that Peaky Blinders
I
haircut, too.
believe he said, "Go fuck yourself" with that goal.
Yeah, absolutely he did.
And then he's
And then
on
the
his
build-up for
knees
the play.
cheering, and I'm yelling at Sam, "We can't cheer until VAR rules."
I also very much personally like the way that Jack Grealish, says music. Muzak. It's Muzak. I like Muzak.
That's a Birmingham accent, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking brilliant. I love it.
Villa continued to press, especially after Aaron Moore got sent off.
Yeah.
But Brighton weren't without their chances.
Yeah.
I'd worry about that for Villa. You really should have turned the screw being up 10 men. And shouldn't have taken until
No.
stoppage time.
Graham Potter style. He's
Yeah,
not going to let
fair enough.
He's not going to take the foot off the pedal.
No, absolutely, and it just shows he's a good manager. You're absolutely right.
I-
I'd give you that.
For the sake of the household, I'm happy Villa got the W. But as a neutral watching that game, you kind of feel hard done for Brighton. They did everything right
Oh,
and
they
gave
played
it up.
hard.
Right
They're-
at the fucking end, they lost it.
To quote you, their goalie played his dick off.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, Matt Ryan's a hell of a keeper.
Absolutely
The
is.
new, the Kiwi, the New Zealander.
100%. And Aaron Conley played very well.
Yep.
Had a few chances he should have put away. The 19-year-old with the full beard. Jack Grealish, nice to mention though, that goal, very first Premier League goal at Villa Park
Oh, good on him.
Really?
ever. Yeah,
Huh.
he scored obviously last season at Villa Park,
Right.
but they were in the championship.
Right.
Never scored at Villa Park in the 2 seasons that Villa were in the
Oh,
Premier League
good.
that he was in the first team. So yeah, there's that. And then it was Grealish turned provider.
Yep.
And
Target. What's his
Target.
name?
Target.
Target. Oh, it's just
No,
Target.
yeah,
No.
he's an Englishman. Yeah.
Yeah, just Target.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Well, I mean, you call him Target as opposed to Walmart if you want to, if you're feeling fancy.
I
The-
mean, I
the
just
name-
assumed. I just assumed there was some pronunciation.
The
to
name
it.
assassin merges in this marriage
Yeah.
so beautifully.
I also believe that Matt Ryan should have done a little bit better with that.
Yeah, that was probably the only mistake he made.
I think he committed
right
way too early.
here.
Yeah.
You
It
don't
kind of
wanna-
went right over his shoulder. Should have been a comfortable height for him.
Yeah.
Target did hit it with some pace and a little drop of the shoulder.
He went down a little early.
Yeah.
If he's maybe on his feet, that goes right into his
Yeah.
Wasn't
right
that
into
his
gut.
first Premier League goal?
I think that might have been,
I
to
think
be
that
honest
might have
with
been.
you.
Actually, hey, I think that might have been.
I think- yeah,
I knew
I
something.
think you did know
I
something.
knew something.
Oh my
But
god!
so for me, that's it. You know, he did hit it with some pace. He did do well, but I think Matt Ryan could have done better.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's like I said before. I didn't have to do a shot of Malort. She didn't have to do a shot of Malort. So
Wasn't it Ray that bet against me last week?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Ray. I have
Yes,
one
it
thing to
was.
say to you.
Bless your little cotton socks.
it's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time.
I won something.
Sam, you finally hit. How about that, huh?
$15 whole dollars.
A whole 15 whole dollars. Put you now to just minus 165 down there. I mean 185 down there, killer. No,
More
sorry,
than
not.
that.
I'm sorry, 685
Yeah,
down.
more than
Apparently,
that.
me and numbers. The printer paper is starting to go out, so it's like pink, and I can barely read it. So
That's
don't
all right.
mind
Hey,
me.
listen, it's on record. 185 down. I'm winning.
No, you are minus 685. You finally got a W, even though you also had a loss, which
Yep.
makes it kind of pretty effective.
I'll just get this out of the way since we're talking about it. My cup of losers is Everton v West Ham to draw, which didn't happen, obviously. And I wrote, don't care. Finally won one.
Mine says secretly happy I lost because Mane didn't score. So yeah, that's how that works out for me. So allow us to feed the cup of losers. The Dort Spirect mug is
Yeah.
hungry. It needs losers. Feed the losers. That means we're gonna get some winners this week, Sammy.
That's what
It's
I-
only a matter of time.
maybe not.
It's gonna. Oh well, come on, man. Oh, but also most importantly, Ray missed, Pat missed, Russ missed, even Kitty fucking missed. That's what you get, fucking chicken, for fucking betting against my team.
Don't talk about Ray like that.
I was gonna say, don't talk about dinner like that.
Oh, stop it, both of you.
Jesus Christ.
So,
He's about to cry.
Mr. Graham, what do you got for us this week?
So I am, against my better judgment, am going to parlay 2 games. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do Brighton v Everton. Everton to win.
Okay.
Away from home for the first time in
Wow.
a very, very long time.
How much money's on that? I mean,
100.
Nice. Okay.
Lewis Dunk's out.
Oh yeah.
He
That'll
got
make
the
it-
red.
Yeah.
So
No, Moy's the one with the red.
It's
Aaron-
Moy.
Aaron Moy's the one with the
didn't
red.
Dunk get a second
Dunk,
a yellow?
Dunk got
And
an
got
injury.
his-
I think Dunk took an injury though.
I think he's suspended though, so I
Yeah.
think he got his 5th yellow maybe.
Oh, so he's out
I
as
think
well.
that might, yeah.
That's
It
huge.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. I have faith.
That a boy.
And I'm going to parlay that with Arsenal to win over Palace. And us.888sport.com, the site we get our lines from. On that parlay gave me plus 283 for a $100 bet. Plus 283.
Very good. So, despite the fact that Pat lost, he does write very good emails. So,
And now, It's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Since now that money is getting tight, let's try to take a 2-team parlay, just like you, Mr. Graham,
Yeah.
to bump it up a little.
If I start thinking like him on a regular basis, I quit.
I heard.
I can't do this.
He said, of course, I'm not swinging for the fences. I'm just going to take solid contact and get on base. Sorry for the baseball reference, but go Nats. Which, yes, let's go Nats. Beat the Astros. So Sunday, going with 2 12:30 games. He's going to take Arsenal at minus 230, but that wins 100 if he hits. And Liverpool at minus 220 against Spurs. So both of them hit. That's a quick turnaround. He doesn't bet 100 on each one. He goes, he's going to put 100 on that one, which will hit for a whopping 108. But if he doesn't hit, he will be in the negative for the first time at the show with a minus 25. Back to you, Sammy, is what he had to say about that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Now, like I said, I actually was very happy that I lost this week because it meant that Liverpool did not win, which works out well, so I'm okay with that. So for my
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
no more fucking around, it's time to get on a heater, Sam. I'm going to start hitting. Now, I am actually going to do my first parlay of the season.
Oh.
It's so weird to see so much joy in him.
Yeah, it is. I'm used to the
I
vein.
am going to do something a little off the beaten path.
Beaten path, yeah.
Yes, beaten path. I'm going to take the Cherries to win on the road at Watford.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
Cherries to win on the road at
Against the
Watford
championship team.
with Colin Wilson scoring, which is a positive of plus 375 on my $100 bet.
Well, you know what I have to say about that?
What do you have to say about
What
that?
you wanted to say was Oregon Trail, that old video game we used to play in school back in the day.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm afraid that your bet's going to get dysentery and die halfway there.
Oh, heard. Okay. Well, I don't think that Watford's winning,
wagon's
and I
come
don't
off
think
your wheel.
and if Bournemouth wins, who's probably going to score that goal? It's going to be fucking Colin Wilson.
One of your 3 wives has died.
Anyone born between 1976 and 1987 knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
That's one for the kids for sure.
You know what else? You know what else, Sam?
What?
If that's all we gave you, that would be enough, wouldn't it?
I wish it was.
But no, we give you
This music just compounds my depression.
Kitty the Chicken.
One of these weeks, I will videotape Sam Houston over here doing his chicken dance, but it is
Oh, I got it.
something. Are you
I
doing it now?
got it. Yep. It's taping.
I mean, what's great is them on the video can't hear the music, so he just looks like an idiot flailing his arms
100%,
around.
Yeah. He's at a silent party.
All right, so Kitty was hiding from me this week. I wonder why. Could it be that I went up to visit her with a rosemary and salt shaker? Just kidding, Sammy. So last week she picked West Ham, and so I decided to give her the other Sam's game. So she's got Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Now, Kitty told me a story of her hanging out with Roger Waters and David Gilmour
Ooh, Pink Floyd fame.
at the
Yeah.
old Highbury grounds, staring at the stars, contemplating all of life's great questions.
Hold on. Was Kitty tripping balls with the members of Pink Floyd?
Maybe.
I mean,
It
she
sounds
gets
like it. Like
around.
contemplating life. I mean, was she at the Highbury when it was actually built, or when it's now apartments thinking she's seeing a game? Because if she's tripping balls, she's probably thinking she's seeing a game.
I have a fun story about Highbury. when
It
we're
probably
done.
doesn't take much to get the chicken, tripping balls. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Just a little.
Yeah, I mean, she's like only 8
Just like
pounds.
like one drop does the trick for her.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, she tripped into Jamie Vardy's balls.
Well, again, she gets around. So just confirming, Kitty has ties to the Gunners, and she sees them winning this weekend.
And she
There we
also
go.
has ties to LSD apparently too.
All right, and everybody remember, always gamble legally and safely. or responsibly?
That part was funny too, but it was the everybody. All right,
7.8 beer and whiskey.
come on, Porky. Good. That's all, folks.
All right, Sam, how'd we do this week?
We lost 6-4. We shouldn't have. They were a cheeky little fucking physical team, and we didn't do our jobs all the time.
We had chances.
Yeah,
we definitely
we
had
did.
chances.
We didn't finish. We could have done better, to be honest.
So that puts us at 2-2-2 going into the last game of the season.
We need some help, but one of the teams better than us is playing the team kind of tied with us. So
Right.
That should help, but they are friendly, those two
Yeah.
teams, so we don't know what they're going to do.
What it simply comes down to is we have to win. They have to lose. If they draw or win, if they draw, they go even with us on points, but that bad loss to Noreen rears its ugly head, and we lose out on goal differential.
Yep.
So, but that also being said, the team they're playing against might also want to screw them over one. And I know the team we're playing against would probably rather see us be in the playoffs than them.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the team we're playing kind of rolls over a little.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Well, then that about wraps it up for us. Sammy, any parting words?
Yeah, for all the good admin I did last week, I did forget to say drink responsibly when I introduced the whiskey.
Oh, that's very true.
So make sure you do that. Other than that, for what we talked about last week with England, Bulgaria, and the ugly scenes there, and I saw on all the social medias a lot of Englishmen taking the moral high ground on this argument, which, yes, they are wrong for doing it, but you're no better than them, it appears, because Yeovil Town and Haringey Borough's FA Cup fourth-round qualifier was abandoned due to racial abuse of Haringey's defender Kobe Rao by the Yeovil fans this same weekend. Hearts are investigating racial abuse up in Scotland of a Rangers striker, as well as Bristol City investigating claims of Luton Town that the Bristol away fans racially abused one of Luton's players, one of the away fans. So they're looking at that footage to try to find that guy. This shit is getting fucking ridiculous.
Knock them out of tournaments, dock them points.
Yep.
Because if you hurt the club, that does one of two things. One, the club will police itself. And two, those fans will give a shit more about the result than they will about them running their mouth. And they'll learn
Absolutely.
real quick to shut the fuck up.
The other thing, Yeovil Town's a 120-year-old club teetering on financial difficulties. It could fold them if you kick them out of the cup.
Yeah.
You know what? Stop being a fucking racist.
Yeah. Stop being an asshole.
Too fucking bad. You lost your team because you were a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's
so I know it sucks, and I feel bad for the players, and I feel bad for the people that care, and the nice fans, the good fans. But you got to make an example. You got to fucking do something about this.
You said it last week. You're not going to fucking stop. If you hear a story, you're going to fucking say it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Not going to stop you.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and go watch the Norwich Bournemouth highlights because I need something to help me fall asleep.
Heard. Very good. Well, thank you very much for joining us, boys and girls. Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to preview the weekend. How do you check it out? Go to our Patreon page and see. But like a good crack dealer, Sam, this week, I'm going to give it to you for free. Everybody this week later on, you'll get a little touch of the Injury Time show and just get you hooked to it a little bit, you know?
There you go. I
See?
do real quick. I forgot
Uh-huh.
one thing. This show comes out on Tuesday, October 22nd.
Yep.
It is 4 years since my dad's passed. So just want to give a I love you and
Show affection more.
show affection more. Cunt. You fucking cunt.
All right, everybody. Till next week. Good night. Shaka Khan.
Fuck off. The lot is fuck off.
Come on, Shaka Khan. There's a shot for me, Shaka Khan. Come on. Fuck up a pass, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan.
Get this fucking shit over with.
Makes me so happy.